Hey, this is Venger Satanis. How's it going? Lately I've been thinking about combat and rounds and initiative and all that good stuff. So, I'll set this right here. Came up with an idea, and you can let me know if you think this idea is worthy or good or crappy. If you want to try it out, that's cool. Give me feedback or whatever. So, initiative. A round is composed of 23-second segments or intervals, and that equals a minute. So one round is always going to be a minute. So everybody rolls a d20, then you add in your initiative bonus or dexterity bonus or whatever. But the top is going to be 20, and the bottom is going to be 1. So everything fits in within that minute that happens or can happen. Those who act first in this initial round get just a flat +2 bonus to attacking anyone that their initiative hasn't gone yet. So you don't have to keep track of like flat-footed armor class, which I always thought was a pain to calculate and keep track of, and ask players like, okay, so what's your armor class? Now what's this armor class, not the other armor classes you usually use, and so anyway, so if you're attacking first in the first round and you're attacking someone that their initiative hasn't come up yet, or their go hasn't come up yet, then you just get a flat +2. Now this next mechanic I think is especially interesting, and this is the key point that I want to focus on. And this is just me standing on the shoulders of giants that came before, because I've seen versions of this before, but the way I've put it together I think is kind of unique. Maybe not unique, but I've never seen it before. So you've heard about holding your action, like in D&D, you could, at least 3rd edition or whatever, you could always hold your action. Like, so if you were going on a 14, you could just hold your action and go, later at like a 2 or something like that if you wanted to. But there was no real motivation or bonus or reason to do that, except if you weren't sure what you were going to do yet, or you wanted to just wait and see what your opponent did, but there wasn't a tactical advantage most of the time in doing that. And if you're, no, that's the oven. If you're, basically what I want to model or capture the realism of in a combat is when you are waiting for just the right time, for a true strike, for a perfect attack or near perfect, and basically you're biding your time. So you're doing feints and parries and small little strikes, but if you're basically waiting for the right time and giving yourself a chance to let your opponent slip up, and basically if this was poker, you'd be having position on your opponent, which if you play Texas Hold'em at all is very key, because in poker you get to act last, which gives you a lot of advantage. But in a combat, it makes sense that if you're not just like swinging and striking and like trying to get in the best hit, when you can, but you're sort of biding your time and you're waiting and you're looking for a precise opening or advantage, I think that merits some kind of bonus. So basically, if you hold your action, or not hold, but withhold, like a true strike or something like that, like an additional round. Like say if you're normally going on 18, but you want to hold it for a whole another minute to go on the next 18 in the following round, then you get +2 bonus to hit and damage. And you can do this, it's cumulative, but you can do this up to 3 rounds. So if you hold your action, you can still defend as normal. So if people attack you, they have to hit your normal armor class, because it's not like you're just sitting there like, I'm just going to wait until I see the perfect opening. You're still doing little combat-y things, but you're withholding your true strike or your perfect attack until the right moment. So every round, so if you wait 3 rounds, then that gives you +6 to hit and to attack. And since I'm merging D&D with Dungeon Crawl Classics, a spellcaster has a casting roll. And same thing with the mage. If he wants to wait a whole round, instead of taking 3 seconds to cast a spell, he wants to take an entire minute, then he gets a +2 to his casting roll and a slightly more awesome effect. Like, instead of a 5d6 fireball, he would get a 6d6 fireball. Or instead of 2 magic missiles, he'd get 3 magic missiles. Or if something just did an area effect, like darkness or silence or something, maybe he would get an additional 10 feet out of that. So basically just, I don't know, capturing the feel of, or emulating, a lot more focus and concentration and time. A lot of anything you want to do, if you want to do it well, it takes time, I've noticed, which sucks a lot of the time, but it's a trade-off. So, or if you have an archer, a thief who's got a bow or crossbow kind of in the back, if he wants to take an extra round to aim and to find a better opening, then he's going to get +2 to hit and to damage. If he wants to wait 2 rounds, he gets a +4 to hit and damage. 3 rounds, it's +6, and then that's where it stops. After that, it's just like, I think, you could keep going, but I think after that it starts to get a little ridiculous. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Again, there's still little attacks like, feints and parries and small like clinks and whatever, flashing of the sword. But yeah, if you want to wait and withhold your action until you can find a better spot and get position on your opponent, then I think you should be rewarded for that. So, I don't know, let me know what you think about all that. Maybe it needs to be tweaked, maybe it needs to be tried or play tested a bunch before it's ready. I won't get a chance to play until a week from this Saturday, so I won't know until we actually play and see how it pans out. In which case, then I'll let you know my findings. But I think this is kind of cool, and I don't know, I want to know what you think. So let me know. Yeah, Cthulhu Vataga.